wanted to write the lyrics. Hey, go for it. You're the singer. Sure, write the lyrics, you know. And yeah, they were some brutal, graphic, horrific lyrics that, you know, stirred up some controversy, got things moving. He was one of the progenitors of the gore style, you know. He helped create the style of the gore lyrics.
I had a lot of fun. I remember, you know, laying in bed with a pen and paper and my Walkman on and writing lyrics to vomit the soul.
You know, of course, their style definitely changed over records. With the change of the music, the vocals changed fittingly.
When you look at how quick of a turnaround it went from, say, the demo to Butchered at Birth, it's night and day.
He started out having more of a creator or accused kind of voice, more of a like the raspier, higher stuff, which is still killer, and in a way could be considered a different type of death metal vocal.
I knew early on when I was singing cover songs that I could never really sing high like Rob Halford or Jeff Tate, which I loved. I wish I could have sang like that, but I just didn't have that register in my voice, so I just kind of kept trying to blend my voice into the music a little bit more.
He went from here to like really low, like guttural vocal, like super low. Like, whoa, this is crazy sounding.
Just decided that was the way to go with the lyrics he was writing and the music we were writing. It just kind of fit, and it was a natural thing for him to just go lower and lower and see how heavy the vocals could be.
The music was getting heavier and more chunky and just brutal, so I figured I would have to become another instrument as far as on top of the music.
Lawrence had his own style and definitely was instantly recognizable.
Really, when you think back, who was the first guttural singer?
Chris would have to be one of the first ones, for sure.
I don't know where it started from, to be honest with you. I don't know what band was the first that came up with it. Do you know? Chuck probably would be the first real death metal singer, I guess, from Death. Everybody used to tell Chuck, you're the godfather of death metal. You created death metal, and Chuck was very uncomfortable with that thing because he was like, God, you know, bands were doing this before me. I mean, Possessed. They have a song called Death Metal, for God's sake. You could probably argue Jeff Becerra from Possessed, but he wasn't maybe as guttural, you know.
There's so many different versions of it, so I'd say it's hard to really judge the initial. You know, everybody has a different answer on it.
Venom, Possessed, Celtic Frost.
Hellhammer. Yeah, Hellhammer was a big thing for us. We hear that the song Triumph of Death, and it was just like he was screaming like he was getting murdered. And we figured that's ultimate, like really have someone like killing somebody. What's that going to sound like?
I heard the Obituary record. We heard John Tardy's vocals, and we were like, you know, what the hell is this? I'm like, this guy is God. And the next guy says, well, if he goes, I'm going to go.
People that listen to death metal, unless you have like a death metal decoder in your brain, and you actually can speak in that low tone or whatever, you don't know what the hell's going on. It just sounds like a monster's on the microphone.
Just for you.
Mortician. They had really low vocals before we did. Immolation did.
I think it just kind of had a slow evolution.
I feel it's like has a good hand in laying the foundation for what the death metal vocalist is.
I'm sure there's been lots of people that have tried to imitate him as well.
I actually started doing these kind of vocals by trying to outdo Chris Barnes. People were going, how can a human voice do that? Most of the good singers, especially Chris's, he didn't have to do a lot of effects to them to make them sound heavy. I mean, they sounded heavy on their own.
A lot of people thought that there was harmonizers used, and I guess some bands have used harmonizers.
With the deep vocals, a lot of guys cheated. Maybe they slowed down the tape or put a lot of echo on it.
There was none of that going on with Chris.
It was important for them to let people know, look, we didn't rely on a studio or an effect to make us brutal or my voice to sound this way.
They're like purists.
Like, we went in and did it right.
I didn't really grasp the complete idea behind death metal until I was reading lyrics from Butchered at Birth. My parents were completely stoked on that. They loved it.
I remember eating cereal and thinking about the lyrics of Butchered at Birth and just being like, I can't even eat this. All I can think about is Afterbirth.
The band's imagery really solidified on that album as far as lyrical content, artwork, music, you know, presentation.
things locked, dude, butchered at birth. That was insane.
When you sent me that cover and I opened it, my jaw dropped to the ground, and then I sat down and I just stared at it.
I remember when it came in, it was kind of like, I wonder what Brian's going to think.
As soon as I saw it, I go, looks like we're going to have some problems at retail here.
I think it's brilliant. It's one of the greatest covers I've ever seen. I absolutely love it.
It was even more amazing than Metal Blade put that album cover out.
I love to stir things up and, get reactions out of people, and that certainly, we certainly did that with that cover.
I saw that and I was like, oh my damn, that has got to piss some people off.
It's so offensive.
Very offensive.
But it rules.
It's one thing to have people dying and these things, but when you start messing with children, then people start getting pissed off.
Butchered at birth is pretty disgusting.
Yeah.
Makes you feel very uneasy. It took me a few attempts at the store to be able to buy the record because I was afraid of it. And I was more afraid that my parents were going to find it.
It's kind of hard to explain that to Mom. I work at this place where, they have record covers. Pregnant women getting dissected by zombies.